A topic that we touched on earlier on our show, solitary confinement. When Manuel was 14 years old, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole and ended up spending 18 years in solitary confinement. He was just released in 2016 and came out with a book, My Time Will Come, a memoir of crime, punishment, hope, and redemption, in which he documents his experiences. Manuel, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
So you were just a teenager when you were sent to prison. What went through your 14-year-old mind as you were trying to process spending life behind bars and ultimately solitary confinement?
Well, I'll tell you this, spending the rest of my life in prison did not hit me until I was much older. I couldn't comprehend what life in prison meant at such a young age. And then to be placed in solitary confinement soon after my sentencing was very troubling to my soul. It was something that I wasn't prepared for.
You talk about some very traumatic experiences, one in particular where the guards made you strip in order to go outside. How were you able to maintain some semblance of hope?
Well, I was able to maintain my semblance of hope by tapping into, my willpower or recalling on what my mother told me over and over. As I said, in my time will come. My mom used to tell me, Ian, no matter what, don't let them take your mind, when I was a young kid. And so hearing that message over and over in my mind gave me the strength to withstand the things that was happening to me, even though I couldn't understand it when I was in solitary.
And you ultimately reconciled with your victim, Debbie, then established a relationship with her, and later she petitioned for your release. How do you think that your life might have been different if Debbie hadn't agreed to speak with you?
Oh, I would have never had the opportunity at reconciliation or restorative justice. I think I'm the epitome. Me and Debbie are the epitome of restorative justice. And I'm so glad that as a 14-year-old, I made the decision to reach out to Debbie, to ask for her forgiveness and to ask her to, be my friend. And I'm forever thankful for that.
And you are now a poet, and some of your work is included in your memoir. Talk us through this particular line from your poem called Uncried Tears. If crying brings you to triumph, then dying is not such a disaster. Can you explain what you mean?
Yeah, so in prison, I used to push all of my pain down so I wouldn't have to feel the totality of it. And so it was a conversation between the tears and the conscience. And the conscience and the tears telling the conscience, just let us out. You don't have to be afraid to cry. You can heal yourself in the process by crying. And even though it might kill me, the tears drying up and eventually dying, it will heal yourself in the process. And I just found that line to be so powerful and so true.
And before I let you go, just curious about writing, and if that is a healing process for you, an outlet to help you through that time and now subsequently.
Yeah, I think as I mentioned in my book, My Time Will Come, writing is very cathartic for me. It's something that I used to call on to help me survive in the depths of solitary confinement. And if it hadn't been for my writing and my resilience, I would have went crazy and lost my mind, because solitary confinement is a dehumanizing experience. And I spent 18 consecutive years from the time Bill Clinton was the president-elect until Barack Obama was elected about 18 years later.
Manuel, we thank you so much for your time joining us tonight. My Time Will Come, a memoir of crime, punishment, hope, and redemption, is now available wherever books are sold.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.